as I was looking, and some of you already probably know this, there are 5 components to fitness when we're talking about health-related fitness. There's the cardiovascular endurance, you know, and that is our heart rate getting up to a certain level and maintaining that, and we'll be doing that in the practice today. There's muscular endurance, and that is how long can we repeatedly lift a weight or do a squat or that kind of thing. How long can we endure those strengthening exercises? Because that's the third component, or another component is muscular strength. Then there's flexibility, and that is how mobile are our joints. And again, I think the yoga practice really is a great benefit for that, although it also works muscular endurance and muscular strength. Not a lot of cardiovascular endurance in the yoga practice, unless you're doing like a power yoga class, okay? And then there's your overall body composition. You know, how are your tissues, your fat and your muscle tissue and the bone weight and all of that kind of thing. And then within that, you have skill-related fitness. So some of you play tennis or golf or different things that take on different skills. And so we have the speed, we have power, agility. That's where balance comes in, coordination, and also reaction time, like all those ball games that we've played in the past, or frisbee, right? Can we keep that eye-hand coordination in the things that we are doing? So I'm gonna put my hair up, and then we're gonna stand, and we'll be doing again a lot of upper body stretches and openings and joint mobility. And again, in functional fitness, the thing that's a little different, it's not really different, but it's just kind of where it's focused, and that is on those mimicking everyday motions, working at multiple planes, really working in the multiple joints, moving forward and backward, side to side, and rotations and such, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and begin, and we're gonna start with high knee lifts and arm circles. So just maybe getting yourself into a good mountain stance, because we're gonna begin already starting with some balance. So we're gonna take our arms, let's just get those moving first, okay? Going round and round, and then let's begin to focus a point in front of us and begin to lift our legs up. Maybe your feet only come up an inch or 2, okay? Maybe you're doing high knees, or maybe we're starting kind of low, and then we'll begin to work up higher. As we work our shoulders and our arms, you're gonna feel that into your pectoral muscles. And now let's stop our feet, change the direction of our arms, okay? And again, maybe you wanna take these slower, okay? Maybe yours are not quite as big because of some kind of shoulder impingement. Please listen to your body, okay? And we're going back, and we're feeling that opening in our arms and our chest. And if you like, you can begin to lift those legs up again, bent knees. Finding our breath. Trying to maintain as much in and out through our nose breathing as possible. When the cardio goes up, we immediately want to start breathing through our mouth. We may need that, right? But let's let that need be unnurtured for as long as possible, okay? And then just coming back to maybe a little sway here, feeling your arms warmed up. And now we're going to take our arms and we're going to cross them front and back. So begin that first, and maybe giving weight to one side of your body, and then the other, coming onto the ball of one foot, and then coming back down into that heel. Yeah, good. And then from here, we're going to begin to bring our legs in heel to glute with those arms crossing forward. So that continual motion now of our arms. Maybe you cross left over right and then right over left. And we keep that kicking back. So knee down, heel up to the glute. Feeling maybe that your heart rate is increasing. Your breathing is increasing. And then coming to stillness. Let your arms come down. Now we're going to open up into a different way. We're going to go into welcome into my world. So I'm going to take my left hand and just sway it back. And as I do, my left foot comes back. And I take myself to a little twist, come forward. And then I come over. And just welcoming, opening up, getting and moving down now a little bit in to the obliques. Okay, you should feel that as you go back, open up completely to the side. One more time, each side. And then come back and just kind of walk your legs out. All right, and now we're going to take our right leg and we're going to take it back. Come onto the ball of that back foot, okay? And then I'm going to take my arms and I'm going to send them back. My chest comes forward. I'm going to put my weight on my left foot and I'm just going to lift my right foot off the ground. Take and lower it, toe down, heel up. Maybe a little bend in that standing leg so we make sure that we don't hyperextend in any way. Good, should be feeling that in your glute. And placing the right foot down. Let your hands come down. And just look and flow a little bit, picking up feet. And then taking my left foot back onto the ball of my foot or onto the toe. And my arms come back, my shoulder comes back and my chest forward. And then begin to lift. Lift that back foot off the ground. This is where you may want a chair in front of you to hold on to as you lift. And you pulse in to the glute in the back there. Good. Taking that foot down, bringing it back, and let's walk our knees up. And let's do some shoulder rotations before we go into any more of this opening. Rotating back, and let's rotate forward. Still kind of keeping our feet moving at the same time. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do some opening for the side of our body. And I happen to have a mat, don't need it, but I'm going to just turn that in the opposite way. I'm going to take my legs a little farther than hips distance here. And I'm going to take my left arm up. I'm going to come over and stretch into that side body. And I want to take my hand that's up and I want to take it around. And take my thumb to my thigh. See if it goes there. Thumb to thigh. And then bring my arm up. Kind of like a rainbow. And then pinky to my outer hip or thigh. Raising up back again. Rainbow. Arms. Thumb down. Coming back up. Make sure I'm in a nice side opening here. And then let my arm come back down. Do that 2 more times. Up, over, and around. Thumb to thigh. If it fits, if it goes. Up and down. One more time. Right over. Stand it up. And slowly bringing my body back upright. Settling in. And let's do on the opposite side now. One arm slides down the leg. The other arm comes over, getting ready to do some rainbow arm rotations here. And I'm going to go ahead and let my hand come forward. Maybe my thumb comes to my upper thigh. Bring myself back up. And take and open myself up. Pinky to outer thigh or hip. Raising myself up and repeating. With my breath. If you like, it's my whole yoga part of me. Feeling the necessity to touch space with my breath as I move. That also helps me to maintain that breathing in and out of my nose. Let's do one more here. Way up and way over. Bringing myself up and taking myself down on the right arm and lifting my body up. And let's take a few squats here. Doing a lot for the upper body. We'll come back to it. But take your legs out and let's raise our arms up. And let's take 4 squats with arms up, okay? Again, using breath if you like. 4 times, arms forward. Having your legs out as far or narrow as you would like. 4 times, hands at heart center. Switching out the arms a bit so that we forget about our legs and what we're doing there. Maybe. Arms out here. Shoulder height. And keep warming up the legs. Hands on hips. 4 more times. V shape. And stay down here. Hands can come to your thighs or hips. But let's stretch them out to our knees. And let's take and just go back and forth here. Working into our ankle and knee joint, hip joint. Being cautious that you don't go over too far, right? You want to make sure that you are cautious and that you don't press down into your knee joint, okay? We're attaching there, but we don't want to press down in there. And then let's just take it low again. Try to make our torso nice and straight here. Hands come to heart center, and let's do some pulsing. And if you like, press your hands together so that you accentuate your arm strength as well here. Attaching each finger to the other. And then lifting up slowly. Releasing hands down. Let's go ahead and bring our legs in. And we're going to go ahead and do some deadlifts. Okay, I'm going to turn this way so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to take my legs, if you have a mat, about mat's distance or a little farther than hips distance. I'm going to raise my hands up, palms pushing. Okay, pushing up like I'm holding on to the ceiling and it's falling down on me. And the only thing that's keeping it from crushing are my strong arms and my strong legs. And then I'm going to bend into my knees. Take my torso forward so that my back is completely straight and parallel to the ground. Okay, so I'm coming into my legs. And then take your hands behind you as far or high as you feel that you can, need, and want to do. And then take your hands forward. Push palms against a wall, like you're pushing against a wall there. And then go ahead and lift up, push into the ceiling. Inhale, maybe look. And exhale, come on down. Have your back flat, push against that wall. And then take your arms back and pull those fingers back as far as they can. Shoulders squeeze together. And then bringing yourself back, pushing here up against that invisible wall. Lifting and bringing your arms up, push against the ceiling. And exhale down. Push. Release hands back. Flying here. Hands come forward. Let's have activity in those arms. Push through your feet. Rise up. Push into the ceiling. And exhale. Take yourself into bent elbows and let your heart expand to the heavens. And breathe. Good strengthening and opening for the joints of the vertebral column. Rising up. Exhale. Hands come down. And I'm going to come back here. And let's just take some petals here. It's a little bit of activity there. So take some breaths. Maybe you want to take some water. And now we're going to do a frog balance crunch. Okay. So arms are going to come up. Hands are going to come together overhead in that prayer position. Okay. And I want to be nice and long here. And again, my feet are open, hips are a little bit wider. This is a balancing pose here, okay? So, and the name, frog balance crunch. And I'm going to take my right arm, bend it, bring my right knee, bend it, try to reach elbow to knee, or maybe to thigh or hip, and bring my arm up. Hands come back, meet together, and then bring myself into that frog leg crunch. Taking these with breath. Finding your balance. You can stay looking straight ahead. That will actually help your balance rather than looking up and then looking in a different direction. Always lengthening before you go into the crunch. Let's do 2 more each side. And exhale, hands come down. Whew. And go ahead and let's take a little bit of jog here. And maybe jog in circle. Taking your arms and moving them. Taking your feet off the ground. When you come and do 1 full circle, turn back around. Maybe your knees start to lift up a little higher. And you can take that circle by moving around the room, or you can just take it in place. Okay, let's do a couple more. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Keeping that heart rate up, right? We want to do that. All right, and then coming back to standing. I want to do a little twist here. So take your right hand and take it around your spine like this. I'm going to take my left hand, interlace there. And this is going to help open up the right shoulder and the left. I'm going to just gently move the right hand over around my waist a little bit more maybe. And as I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and take that twist, looking over my right shoulder, left shoulder pulls forward. And then bringing myself forward here. I'm gonna take myself in the opposite direction, still holding on, interlace fingers here, twisting in the other direction, working those obliques. And then coming back around. Exhale, release hands. Release that shoulder grip, and let's reverse. Left hand comes behind, right hand, fingers interlace. And just find that comfort there and how much you want to try to bring your left hand around a little more and what not want to go. Really has to do with our shoulder openings, okay? And then let's go ahead and twist over to the left. Maybe we're able to bring the hands a little more forward as we go into that twist, looking over our left shoulder, pulling our right one down and our left one down. Breathing. Coming back around slowly, always coming out of twist slowly. And then taking ourselves around in the opposite direction. Good, and then coming back into forward, releasing our hands. Let them go. Let's pick up our legs. We're going to do another balance here. I'm going to turn this way. Okay, and again, one of the skills that come out of those 5 components is balance and coordination. And we can't have the balance for very long unless we have strength and endurance. And those are, again, 2 of the components in our fitness. So I'm going to place my right foot grounded into the ground, okay? I'm going to lift my left knee up, flex into that foot. And if that's good, or you are working here, or you have a chair or wall, please do that. Or if you like, you can extend that leg forward, feeling that in your quadricep. Okay, flexing the foot will accentuate that. Bend into the knee, take the knee facing downward, and then take it back. And then take your body forward a bit, maybe your arms come out, and then push back through your heel behind you. Here we're balancing. Hands can be on your waist, they can be forward, they can be to the side, they can be on that chair, okay? And then bring yourself back up. And place that foot down. That's my left foot. I'm going to ground there. And then I'm going to pick up my right foot off the ground, come into a bent knee. Knee is forward. Find my balance here with arms placed any way that's comfortable, or maybe I need a little assistance here. Find whatever you need. Find that chair, that wall, piece of furniture. And extend your leg out with the flexed foot. Trying to maintain uprightness here in our spine. Feeling that the muscles pulling into bone on that right thigh. And then bringing your knee into bent. And taking the knee down. And then back behind you and press through your right heel. And if we kept going forward with our body and back higher with our back leg, we would be coming into Warrior 3, which is one of our yoga poses. And then bringing yourself back, place your foot down. We're going to do that one more time. And so now you know what we're doing. If you need or want that chair or anything to assist with it, and when you do that, don't think of it as being as cheating or doing something that isn't going to help, because that will help build that muscle memory of what that balance is like, okay? And then soon you will be doing Warrior 3, again, taking that muscular strength and endurance forward. So pressing in, bringing down with the right foot, lifting up my left knee, and breathing here. maybe just working to do that, right? Because of wherever my balance might be. And I'm going to extend that leg out if that is in your practice today. Keeping a minor bend in that standing leg so you don't hyperextend. Pushing through the heel of the extended leg. Lifting higher if your leg is wanting, willing. Bend back into that knee. And then let the knee come downward. And then shoot that foot back. Heel pushing back. Your body comes forward a bit. Again, hands and hips are taking them out to shoulder height. And breathing here in your nice state of balance. Hands have to be supporting somewhere. You are learning what that balance feels like. You're learning how to strengthen and support your body in that way. Bend into your knee. Place that left foot down. And walk it out. We still have one more to do on our right side. Plant into the left. Push down. And knee lifts up. Breathing here. And then I'm going to extend my leg out if and when it's ready to do that. Have that slight bend, but still muscles attaching to my kneecap there to keep things strong. Okay? And then bend into that front and right knee. Take the knee downward, straight down from your hip, and then push back. Okay? Pushing back, get you into your glute there. Hands and hip or outward. Good. And then coming back, placing your right foot down, walking that out a bit. Come back, turn back towards you guys. We're going to do one more set of squats, and then we're going to work into our more cardio piece, where we're going to build 3 movements on to one another. And that'll be one set. We'll do another set of 3 different movements built on top of the other. And then we'll do the third set built on top of the other. Then we're going to put them all together. That'll be about 20 minutes. Okay, so opening up the legs. We're going to come into either, again, a squat here, or you can come lower into Malasana. Malasana pose is coming down as low as you can, tailbone towards the ground, elbows in the side of your thighs, maybe assisting a little bit with that opening. And I'm lowering, just feeling my groins open up, groin area open up there, and my legs strengthening, my breath finding itself here. Maybe letting my head bow to open up the back side of my neck. And from here, hands come back onto my thighs, slowly lengthening my legs, coming back up, and finding myself in the standing position. Let's go ahead and take some breaths here. Let's go ahead and take some water here, and we'll get ready to begin into the this portion of the cardio, okay? So what we're going to do here is back and forth, okay? Taking your arm overhead, extending your leg out, reach and tap. Reach and tap. And then just taking a few breaths here. Taking our feet back and forth. Then we're going to go into another set of reach and tap. And then I'm going to go into skiers. Let's begin. Reaching and tapping overhead. The arms overhead. That works our heart. even harder. So if that's a lot, take your arms lower. And then skiers. Okay. Try it this way. Maybe try it this way. Opposite. But we're going to have this constant movement here. And then we're going to walk in between our transitions or our changes. Walking, moving, arms and legs. Now we're going to go and reach and tap, skiers, and then we're going to go into something called toy soldiers. So here we are. Reach and tap. And breathe. Make sure you guys are breathing. We're doing about 20 seconds or so of each. And then we're going to go into skiers. Toe back, arm forward. So anybody that skis, knows this, usually we don't have our arms up here, but cross country, we're doing this, right? And then toy soldiers, arms up, foot up. Hand to opposite leg. Maybe you're just bending your knee, lifting it up here. Utilizing those big muscles of our legs. Arms up. And let's go ahead, walk it out just a bit here. And we're going to go into another set here. Kicks and twists. Go ahead and begin. So you can kick out or you can take it to a knee. Take your arms up if you want, or keep them bent. Legs straight, or you can bend and then kick it out. Those of you that might have had, I know Sparky was part of our Aikido class. We did a lot of kicks and punches, and we got our heart moving in that way. So this again, kicks and twists. Then we're going to add some kickbacks to that, and we'll get into some punches. So, twisting, feeling that in your obliques, feeling this, and our legs, our glutes, maybe you want to bend knee or kick, and then adding this, arms down, leg forward. Good. And I like that you are doing your modifications, right? So gets to be a lot to keep those arms going overhead. Definitely increases our cardiac output. So please, taking those arms lower, taking those feet lower, you guys will be able to save yourself a bit. Okay, add on. Whew. Kicks with elbows, knees bent or legs extended. And then up and down. Switching legs, taking hands underneath our thigh. Again, lowering those arms if needed, called for, and punch, punch, and kick, 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 punch, punch, and kick. Anyone that's done martial arts knows what this feeling is like. Let's go ahead and walk it out. And then we're going to do 3 more. 3 more here. Take your breath and catch it. And then we're going to do push and crunch. Okay, so you guys see that? We're going to push and shuffle twice, and then bring our arms around and crunch to the other side. Okay, and then we'll go push and that way. Come around and crunch. Push 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 and crunch. One more time each side. Push and crunch. Push and crunch. And let's walk that out again. Whew. This is really good for me. This is good for me to get my cardio, because really I don't get a lot of, when I think about it, I do all these yoga classes, I do walks, I work in my garden, sometimes I get on my bike, but not really keeping that cardio output going like we're doing today. And then rainbow jacks, okay? So we're gonna take our arms up and leg up. Rainbow jacks. Arms up. And our arms are just continually arcing like rainbows. Opposite leg lifting. And coming to rest. And then we're going to shuffle here. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's a little plyometrics. We're leaving the ground on that shuffle. And let's go ahead and walk it out a bit. And now we're going to push, push, crunch, rainbow jack, and big arm shuffle, okay? Or shuffle and you can add arms to it if you want, okay? So I'm going to push and crunch. Push and crunch to the other side. Push and crunch. Push and crunch. Crunch, push, crunch. And yes, I'm saying because I need that feedback to coordinate myself. One more time each time. And crunch, push and crunch. And then rainbow jacks. In and out through our nose. Or in through the nose and out through the mouth. And coming out of that into our little shuffle. Finding one side and just shuffle, 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 shuffle. You want to add arms? You can. One more time each side. Good. And real important, keep moving. All right, so let's go ahead, tapping, moving arms as if you're pace walking. Really important, you guys, as I've seen this so often. People are tired, let's say they've been hiking going up and climbing a bit. They're winded, like I am. Probably not you guys, but like I am. And they just stop and they sit. Probably the worst thing to do, because your heart like goes, wait a minute, I thought it was working, and now I'm doing nothing. And it just really plays a trick, and not a good one, on your heart. So let's begin to slowly cool down. Now, instead of that fast-paced walk, just a little old person walking forward maybe a little bit. We're staying in place. I'm going to let my hands just begin to float to my sides and just let my wrists flutter and turn towards you. As I do that, I'm going to take one toe out and just press it on the ground next to me. Good. And then just come to almost stillness, but not quite. Okay. Little tiny walk, little tiny arm movements. And then finding a mountain pose with stillness. Recuperating our breath. In and out through the nose. I'm sweating. I don't know about you all. And I'm just shifting my body a little bit right and a little bit left. And I'm going to take on my in-breath and let my arms come up to my shoulder height. And I'm going to wrap them around me and hug. Pull down on my shoulders. Still maybe a little swaying here. Do you want? Open up arms. And let's exhale, come around the other way. We're going to spend the last 10 minutes or so working on strengthening of the upper body and our core. So we'll be on the floor for that. So make sure we're totally back to a regular heart rate here, back into homeostasis, right? Back into what is healthy and good, although that was healthy and good for us to augment our pulse. But we don't want to have it up there all the time really high, right? We want it to be able to come back into recovery in a pretty quick way, and that shows our heart health. So now I'm going to come to the floor. So I'm sorry if I did tell you don't need anything, you really don't. You can just come to the floor, or you can come down onto a mat. Okay, and I'm going to take myself down. I'm going to sit with my knees bent. You guys can see me, I think so. And I'm going to come into boat pose, right? Which is going to assist me in my core. But before I do anything too extreme, I just want to lean back. I want to hold on to my knees, okay? I think you guys can see me. Or I want to hold on underneath my thighs or underneath my knee. And maybe I can come back a little bit more. Back into my tailbone here. So my arms are stretched out. And go ahead and lift that left leg off the ground and straighten it. Holding on. And take that foot back to the ground. If this becomes, we don't want it to stress your lower spine, okay? This is to build the core, to keep a strong spine. So if it does, bring yourself up more, all right? You'll still be working the core, having your body at an angle. I'm going to take my right foot up and lengthen it. Arms are long and I'm breathing. Still holding on. Still sweating. And that's good too. I haven't really had a good sweat in a while. And that right foot comes down. Now I'm going to lift my left leg back up, holding on to my left leg. My back is at an angle. I'm going to let my right arm come off of from behind my right leg, or maybe it was on my right knee. But here I am using a little more of my abdominal strength here. Replacing my hand, letting my left foot come down. Right leg extends out, flexing into that foot to feel more energy in that right leg. Left arm extends out. Letting my weight come back as far as feels comfortable here. Left hand attaches, right foot comes down. You're going to repeat that exact thing that we just did, or you feel that you want to take and lift one leg off the ground, one foot off the ground, and release both arms. You can do that. It's going to take more effort, more core strength. So maybe you just have one hand holding, one hand released, either the same foot or the opposite. Okay? And then place that foot down. Have your hands connected. And let the other foot, that's my right one, come up. One or two hands leave the leg, or both stay there. Breathing in and out here. One or two hands come back to the back of your legs. Foot comes down. Repeating that one more time. Or you can lift both feet off the ground, hold on to right underneath your knees there. Okay, so now my arms are bent, elbows are bent. My shins and calves are parallel to the ground. And again, maybe letting one hand go at a time, maybe both hands. And sitting in this bent-legged boat position. Breathing with hands attached, one or both, or none. And then hands underneath, feet down. Let's rise up and take ourselves all the way down. We're going to do some bicycle pumping here, and that will be good for our abs as well. So I'm laying on my back. My feet are grounded, knees are bent. And then I'm going to take my hands behind my head and my arms are open wide. I'm going to lift my right knee towards my left elbow, and I'm going to come in and meet those together. And then placing right foot down. Right elbow, left knee, come up and greet one another. And place everything down. Keep going. I'm keeping my foot flexed as I lift it up. Trying to raise myself up higher off of my shoulders. Let's do one more time each side. And having my head down, lift both feet off the ground, and let me get myself a hug here. And reaching around my shins and curl and tuck into myself here, making myself into a nice yoga ball here. Shoulders pull down, chin comes to chest. Flexing feet if you like to just add a little bit more to the leg contraction and muscular strengthening there. And I'm going to go ahead and hold on maybe to one knee and just roll myself up. Okay, and then turn myself over so that I'm on hands and knees. And I'm going to work in and out of plank pose here. Okay, so have yourself on your hands, okay, and knees, and curl and tuck your toes and come into what is down dog here, okay? We're pushing back through the tailbone and then bringing ourselves forward into plank where you're completely contracting all of your abdominal muscles, and then push yourself back. Exhale. Bring yourself forward and take yourself back. Forward here and back. And then take yourself to your knees, and we're going to do some push-ups here. So you can take them on the knees, or you can come off and do them. I'm going to stay on my knees. I'm going to pull my elbows back towards me. And I'm just going to go down as far as my muscles will allow. I'm pulling in at my navel point. Two more, please. And then bringing myself back. Coming on to my tailbone, my sits bones. And I'm going to have my legs bent. Right leg bent, foot backwards, right? Left knee bent, foot is forward of where I am here. So I'm sitting here working on the hip opening, okay? I'm just gonna sit here nice and straight and tall. And I want to take a twist over on one side, looking over maybe my right shoulder or left. Coming back to center. And then going and twisting them the opposite way. And coming back, making sure my back is nice and straight. And let's go ahead and flip out those legs. One leg comes forward and it's kind of facing you, and the other leg is bent towards my back. Sitting up straight and tall here. Go ahead and take a look over one shoulder. Twisting into those obliques that we've worked today. Yeah. Have a good lunch, honey. And then coming around to the other way. And then back in center. And then let's go ahead and end up with our knees together and sitting back onto our heels. If that is a lot for you, please don't do that. Open up your knees, maybe place a blanket right here, all right? So find something that's comfortable for you to be in that position, okay? Either here on a blanket will lift you up, okay? Or open up your knees and maybe put a blanket there. Right here, we just want to work into the joint mobility of our spine. Probably one of the most important things that we want to make sure that we're staying flexible in, like the culebra, you know, like the serpent. Hold on to my knees and pull my heart forward and look up. And release yourself back and curl into yourself. When I was looking at Paige's examples of her functional fitness, generally there was a cat and cow in there somewhere because of keeping our spine functional. We can keep everything else moving and functioning as well. If one of our vertebrae, keep going you guys, isn't quite lined up well, it will impinge on nerves, which will impinge on other body parts, but not just the outside of our body, not just our legs and our arms and our neck, but also it comes and starts impinging on our organs, okay? Maybe causing you to be constipated or have diarrhea, other things that might not be feeling very good. And that's all again on spine health. And the yogis say, we can stop now, just come into center and find some breath. The yogis say that we measure age by the health of our spines. So on all of these things that we were doing today, all of the cardio and all of the stretching and all of the movement of the joints, right? We always want to come back into honoring the spine and what it allows, because it's all those bones, right? The vertebrae, but then we have that spinal cord that runs in between that is being protected by that mobility and the movement of our vertebral column. So anyways, glad you guys came today. I appreciate it. I thank you. And just stay moving and stay fit. I think it was Lady Rose yesterday that just asked for movement, right? So moving and moving with mindfulness, trying to move